our society, Kenya, and Sankara. Let's keep it moving.
Yes, Kev.
And we're just talking about cannabis and how it plays out when it comes to the theology and the spiritual aspect of Rastafari. Now, moving forward, why did the Rastafari Society of Kenya feel that it was the right time to petition for the spiritual use of cannabis in Kenya? Now, this happened about 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, these conversations with the justice system in Kenya didn't start just 2 weeks ago. It's been happening. Yeah. Certain politicians have actually been also at the forefront of this conversation. For example, I remember even the late Kibra MP. Yeah, he petitioned, I think the Senate. Can't remember really. Maybe you can brush up on my facts.
Parliament,
why it was Parliament,
Yeah, it was Parliament.
Why did the society feel like this time around was the right time again to petition for the spiritual use of cannabis in Kenya?
Yeah, I just want to brush your facts kidogo, Kev.
Yes.
And the conversations on cannabis there have been many conversations.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there have been different type of conversations, like on the like what the late MP Ken Okoth, Honorable Ken Okoth was presenting was on medical use of cannabis. It was more on the medical and the economics.
All right.
Yeah, and also this one was also something that we attribute to the conversations that he had with our late elder, who was Kennedy Lojuron Jaden. He was the second chairman of the Rastafari Society of Kenya, and he also had founded the Haile Selassie Foundation, which is Naya Bingi House. You know, the Rastafari Society, or the Rastafari in general, has different orders. We have the Naya Bingi. It's just like they would say, you want to probably equate it with the Christianity. We have many denominations. So in the Rastafari, we have the Naya Bingi House. We have the 12 Tribe House and 12 Tribes of Israel. And we also have the Bobo Shanti. And we also have the Mau Mau Order.
Oh, interesting.
You know, and we also have the Ethiopian Orthodox. So these are houses within the Rastafari Society. And the Naya Bingi House, which was founded by Elder Lojuron Jaden in Kibra, was also an institution that was very close with the late Ken Okoth. So we had these conversations with him and also try to see how we can push it. But fast forward now to the society and the issue of the society in regard to the spiritual petition that we put here in the courts. It is not a recent occurrence. This is something that took place in 2021. You know, and in 2021, our elders had moved to court. This is something that had been informed with the inequality that the members of the society were experiencing in Kenya. You know, because you find that all these other religious institutions have that freedom to gather, you know, belong and practice their religion and their spirituality, you know, without, you know, subjugation, without oppression, without persecution. So, you know, the elders sat down and they saw there was a lot of pressure from within and also externally, because a Rasta youth has been really drawn to the ways and the teachings of His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie. But when that youth or that young woman tries to come much more closer, you know, there is a big problem. That is the cannabis problem that immediately strikes off that adherent from even trying to pursue more knowledge, because they feel that already being a Rasta is being an illegal person.
Right.
You know.
Wow. So
there is no freedom of association. You know, this one is being denied by the virtue of being associated with cannabis, which is perceived as evil, as a drug, you know, as something that should not be touched or should not become close to. So when this kind of pressure started coming, you know, the members are walking away, they're leaving, you know, because of profiling, you know.
When you say walking away and leaving, you mean physically leaving or leaving the society,
leaving the society,
and then going where?
Shying away from practicing,
right?
Confidently.
Quitting Rastafari in itself.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, we've had those who have quit. They've been arrested 2-3 times, and they're like, no, I can't do this.
I've got a family.
I got a family who are depending on me. I only came, to show and to belong to this culture because I feel it is the right thing for me, but it is bringing a lot of stagnation in my life, because I am just from prison there that I've done my time.
Damn.
So these guys have arrested me again, so some of them, they shaved, and they don't want to be confidently associated with Rastafari, they might, just, do it secretly, but that pride has been taken away. So these are some of the challenges, Kev, that informed our elders. Again, when you look, our elders have been left with great responsibility and even burden to take care of a lot of children whose parents are behind bars for their conviction in Rastafari.
Interesting.
Yeah, so a mother was taken away from her children just for possession of cannabis. She's a Rasta woman. The children now become our burden as a society, because that's somebody who's strong in the faith. She's behind bars because she believed in Haile Selassie, So it becomes our responsibility as members of the society to make sure that those children do not sleep hungry. Those children get education and health care, So these challenges...
Let me ask you something, Sankara. I have to jump in there.
Yeah.
So when you're saying they're behind bars because of Haile Selassie, because of practicing Rastafari, what exactly do you mean, bro? Are you talking about spiritually or now because probably using cannabis?
Yeah,
because I thought there's this freedom of practicing whatever religion you believe in.
Yeah. So when you are practicing Rastafari, you cannot separate me from cannabis.
Okay, that's what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
You cannot separate me because probably it's on a Sabbath. I'm under responsibility to take the sacrament to the house, of worship. So I'm arrested. The elders probably had given me that responsibility to take the sacrament from this house, take it to that house, and make sure that by Sabbath, all the houses, there is sacrament that is going to help with the procession, with the prayers, And I'm arrested for that, you see. So that to me, I'm arrested because of practicing my faith, not of any other reason. It is because I'm a Rastaman, and His Majesty Haile Selassie had given me responsibility to make sure that the tabernacles have sacrament for the worship on the sabbatical.
But Sankara, let me ask you.
Yeah.
There are laws that you're a politician.
Yeah.
There are laws that govern this country.
Yeah.
Cannabis is illegal. The use of cannabis is illegal.
Yes.
Why then would you practice, or would you adhere to a religion that actually, lets you use cannabis as a way of worship, or however you want to, describe it? Yet the laws that govern the land clearly stipulate that cannabis is illegal.
Yeah.
Isn't that a risk you put into your people?
So let me tell you, Kev.
Or on your people?
The culture came before the law. And if it was fair, if the law was really fair, we would have participated, in creating that law. Even our elders, they never participated in even coming up with such kind of a law that criminalizes a sacrament of a whole spirituality, So for us, we are not breaking any law. For us, we feel it's the government that is subjugating us. It's the government that is persecuting us because we've never had a conversation with government. We've never even gotten into a room where they've held a public participation on issues to do with cannabis. We've never had that opportunity as far as I've been alive. And even as far as I've talked to the elders, nobody has ever invited or had a national conversation on issues to do with cannabis and culture, you see. Because even if you don't want to look at Rastafari and look at other indigenous cultural communities in the country, there is a heavy presence of cannabis in all these cultures.
I agree. Since time immemorial.
Since time immemorial.
Even before Kenya was a republic.
So this law or this, law that we have in the country. This is a law that was like the Narcotics and Psychotropic Act of 1994. This is a law from the strawman. This is not a law that came up that the Africans sat and came up with. No, this is the strawman's law, for containing and for controlling the African people. Because remember, even when you read Maina wa Kenyati, who's an author, and he said when the Mau Mau warriors were smoking cannabis, they would get a certain type of confidence, and prolonged resilience in the war. Then these are some of the rules that were being put forward by the strawman, by the colonial government, to be able to contain everything and anything that was giving power to the Africans who were pushing back against colonialism. So to answer you, Kev, as a spirituality, as a culture, we are not offending anybody, The cannabis plant goes way back. Even in the pyramids, you can see they've made carvings of the cannabis leaf, and even made some depictions to try and pass down information to generations that we are now currently in, that this cannabis plant is central and is an integral element in our culture.
Let me ask you something, bro.
Yeah.
Excuse my ignorance. Yeah. Is it also true that apparently traces of the cannabis plant from way back, very many years ago, were found around the tomb of Solomon? I can't remember who it was, but
King Solomon.
Was it King Solomon?
Yes.
Is it true that he actually used cannabis as well?
Yes, and there's also a connection of lineage between King Solomon and Emperor Selassie. So that is something that has been there, and as the elders, even when our elders transition to other realms, we bury them with these special seeds, the best seeds, the best strains. Wow. We bury them with, so it cannot be a surprise because
I'm not wow, I didn't know about that. That's interesting. What are your biggest concerns and fears when you engage with the public, especially Kenyans, on issues to do with cannabis use?
Kenyans
but I also think Kenyans are very progressive. So Kenyans, I don't know about you, but
Kenyans are very, very, very progressive and very, very supportive, and also very, very listening. And Kenyans also are very analytical, and they can also criticize. So it hasn't been easy. It's not an easy journey. Also, given that the greater percentage of our population in the country is Christian, they are also Muslim.
Yes.
So there are levels of interaction and engagement also with the Rastafari has been minimal. But of course there has been that pushback, especially from the Christians who feel that cannabis is more of a drug, But we've been objective in our conversations and in our discussions with them. I've had an opportunity of engaging, senior men of the clock, like, Bishop Warai, who is also from the Interreligious Council of Kenya. And we've been able to express to them and tell them that, look here, as difficult as it can be, we are living in an information age, the age of Aquarius, where information is what rules the world. So we've invited them also to have conversations also with other religious leaders from other areas, like even the Vatican, like even Uganda, South Africa, where we've had progressive laws that have been able to bring different stakeholders in those nations to discuss about this plant of cannabis, its economics, and its role the role that cannabis has been playing for many years in these indigenous communities.
All right, so because I can see we're running out of time, but real quick, how does this petition actually fit into the broader conversation about freedom of worship in Kenya?
It's very timely. It's very timely because as a society, we have been able to experience the growth of the society. Very many adherents are coming in, and they're coming in strong.
Okay.
And it is becoming also a problem that now members have been able to realize that this is a freedom that is being curtailed. And it is being curtailed here in Kenya, but in other progressive nations, there is freedom for the same. So it is a timely conversation, Kev, that also needs more amplification so that the quotas from government and also from other non-government institutions that are feeling it is still a grey area need also to come to the table so that we can have a robust, mature conversation that can also allow the fundamental rights and freedom for spirituality and freedom of worship and also for freedom of belonging.
Ideally, what you're telling us is there are loopholes when it comes to our legal framework.
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about you as an individual. Being Rastafari, in your day-to-day life, how does it look like? It's a Monday morning.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? How do you go about your business, as a Rastafari? Is it different from any other Kenyan, I'm just curious. What are the details like?
No, not any different.
There's nothing different. There's nothing unique.
Nothing different.
Okay.
Just that probably you just get, lots of greetings, from the community.
Yo, Ras.
Yeah, Ras.
Naji, Ras.
The community feels so much, free with you. Being a Rastaman, you are highly approachable to anybody.
Yeah.
The mad people in the streets, they feel you are the guy who can listen to them.
I get that too.
You can, you can offer a solution.
For real.
For also, when you are, most of the time I'm in the corporate setup.
Yeah.
And I see it a lot. If there is an issue, even in the room, the first, most immediate person that is approachable,
Sankara.
Ras. They even don't know your name.
But why? Could they perceive you to be more neutral and more grounded and more calm?
Exactly.
What?
And they usually say that Rastaman is the true image of the society.
Oh, for real?
So
nice.
They feel that you will be able to be more organic, in that issue at that moment.
Bro, I love that word, organic.
Yeah, man. So
that's really what happens here,
Yeah.
But then, Sankara, you're really adding so much value. Because, personally, when I look at your social media, because I've known you for some time, I think it's so impressive how you've stayed organic.
Yeah.
You've stayed authentic in your Rastafari journey and your narrative, engaging with corporates.
True.
Have you faced some sort of rejections, by the way?
Of course, they're always there. And I usually tell my brothers also in the Levity not to take it heavily, because also, in the community, in the society, there's a reason as to why everything happens. So there's a reason as to why we are at the back there as the Rastafari people. And they usually say that the Almighty turns the narratives. The ones at the bottom will one day be at the top.
Yeah.
So the rejection is always there, Kev. Yeah. There's also lots of frustration and profiling, because most of the time, when I'm in those spaces, 90% of the time, it will be perceived as if I am not qualified to be there.
In what sense? Because you don't have the knowledge for a specific subject?
Because of how you look like.
No, that's very sad.
Yeah. Because of you are a Rastaman, and you're firm about it. Because, remember, Kev, also, I can be Sankara, but I can also be hiding the fact that I am a Rastaman. So that when I'm in those spaces and probably even a question is asked or, something to attribute to it, I'll be like, no, or I'll not want to talk about that issue, but the moment I stand firm and say, yes, I'm of the Rastafari faith, then a lot of discrimination, a lot of questions, a lot of sidelining will come, because even in that space, say your seniors will feel, there's a way this guy can misrepresent us, or we have full confidence in you, Kev, but those guys, there's a way they think about people who look like you.
So even if, so they're fearful for you and how you're going to be perceived, not that they don't like you.
Yeah. Not that they don't like you, but they are afraid of that association that might come as a result of them, being close to you or being, engaging with you or having you in those spaces.
So I got to be real. So even me, man, like ever since I, of course, grew, I've had my dreads for many years, and I don't want to give too many details, but so I've always had a love for certain genres of music. I love reggae music as well.
Yeah.
You guys know.
Yeah.
But when I got into, for example, this space, it really caught a lot of people by surprise.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of backlash. Yeah. I love hip-hop music. Just because I'm Rasta doesn't mean I cannot enjoy and I don't have knowledge for other genres.
True.
Right? I grew up listening to a lot of hip-hop music. I love rock music. I listen to soul music.
Yeah.
My dad was a big reggae fan in the Nini. But some people are kind of slow, to accept the fact that Kevin is actually very knowledgeable when it comes to certain genres.
True.
And he has an idea of the industry.
True.
But for me, I'm authentic. I really don't care about people that much.
Yeah.
I keep it moving, and I know that it's going to make sense eventually. Probably not, maybe not now, maybe in my next life. Who knows? And that's why I relate with what you're saying. And I know that many Kenyans will also relate with what you're saying. But at the same time, do you have hope that in the future, Kenya will actually be more inclusive when it comes to not just the Rastafari, but people of different beliefs and traditions and cultures? Because Kenya in itself is very, especially Nairobi, it's very cosmopolitan. People come from different backgrounds and beliefs.
Yeah.
Do you think we're heading to a future where we will be more inclusive?
Yeah, I think so, Kev. I think so. And I can give you an example. Not with the Rastafari Society or the Rastafari people in Kenya, but you remember, even recently in the mainstream media, there were headlines of, I don't know, there's a group, I really not privy to probably the setup and everything, but they came up some news on things to do with the Freemason.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Saying, I don't know, they have debts, I don't know, the Freemason, and it became a subject.
Yes, it was such a big one. It was trendy.
So people were trying to understand, what is this Freemason? Is it a spirituality? Is it a cult?
Yeah.
How are they so free in Nairobi? They are free in Nairobi.
They must be evil.
They even have debts.
I remember they were shamed in public.
Yeah.
Bro, I remember that one.
So when I look at it, if the country can have such conversations, then I see we are progressing in the right direction where respect for cultural institutions, for spiritual religious institutions is also taking shape. And also, if I also can give another example of in Ngong, Kajiado County, we have the Ngong, which is in the Kajiado North. They elected a member of County Assembly who's Rasta.
Bro, what's my brother's name?
He's called Mbiriri Mwaura, Honorable Mbiriri Mwaura.
Shout out to Mbiriri.
Shout out to Mbiriri Mwaura.
Such a fresh guy. And he's very smart. And one of the most progressive leaders in our country.
Yeah. We also have Madenge Mukundi, who's an advocate of the High Court, and he also did his pupillage with government. So I'm seeing a situation whereby also through a lot of hard work and determination, we usually say, Kev, in our society, in the Rastafari Society, we usually say and we remind ourselves that what a normal Kenyan can do with his energy, a Rastaman has to put thrice that energy for them to be able also to be seen.
That's fascinating.
Because there's that deliberate suppression and profiling. So,
but like you also said, God loves the underdog.
Yeah. So we are seeing a situation whereby we are also learning how to overcome and how to work extra hard to be able also to push for that space in the society whereby in future the Rastaman also can be equal to all these other institutions.
Because I believe Kenya it's about the value that you offer to this society.
True.
You know, to the markets.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be about how you look.
To nation building.
Yeah, to nation building.
Yeah.
It's just purely like conversation should be about value.
True.
That's it.
True.
As we wrap up, 2 final questions, my brother, because I know you're running out of time, just like I am as well.
Yeah.
If this petition is successful, how would the ideal Kenya look like? You know, for our current generation, for future generations, you know, how would communities look like if at all this petition turns out to be successful? What do you envision happening in society?
I envision, first and foremost, if the petition is successful, I envision a just society whereby nobody will be denied an opportunity because of his belief in a certain setup. You know, that one, first and foremost, will be scraped away. So I, as Sankara, would not be put out because I'm Rasta, you know. And then also that will mean also that the criminalization of a particular culture, you know, would have been dealt with. And this means a lot also to the other indigenous cultural communities. Because remember, Rastafari, Levity, is an embodiment of the respect of indigenous cultural setup.
Right.
So that win will guarantee not only in cannabis, but in very many other indigenous seeds and indigenous cultural practices that have continuously been criminalized by government and other institutions.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
By the way, let me ask you, bro, can you be Rastafari but you know, you also listen to other genres of music?
Yeah, of course. Of course. I listen to Amapiano. Amapiano is one of my favorite, you know.
Yeah, that was just an ignorant question. No worries.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Sankara, for coming through. Are we going to see you on the ballot in 2027?
2027, man.
Or maybe 2032, yeah?
Yeah.
What's going on? What are you working on?
Man, guys are still saying it's too early.
Yeah.
You know? But we are weighing. Of course, we want to put Rastafari at the top there. So we are also having lots of conversations as a society. It's so unfortunate, Kev. I have to mention this, but it's so unfortunate that our elders and our society feel really abused and misused by this guy called Wajakoya.
You know, I was going to talk about that. What are your thoughts?
Wajakoya is not a fair person at all. And I must say this.
In what sense?
Because Wajakoya came to the society and even requested our elders to support his vision and also contribute to his vision on the legalization of cannabis agenda in the previous election. He even got our elders to Bomas of Kenya.
Okay, to endorse him.
Yeah, to endorse him and to also launch the manifesto, which was strongly talking about cannabis. He even went on media and on national television to say how he would set aside, how he'd also include the Rastafari people in the national prayers, so that when the Muslims and the Christians are given a chance to lead prayers, he would also,
right.
he also said he would officialize, you know, a day, you know. But it is unfortunate that the other day he also came up on TV to say that he was only using the cannabis agenda to get the attention of the people and gain popularity for himself.
Yeah.
You know, so that means that number one, as a leader, you know, he really does not know what he was doing, you know, because you cannot stand up to tell the masses one thing, you know, and then after, even it's barely 3 years, you are saying you did not believe in what you are saying. Now you expect the people to believe you if you are actually uttering what you don't believe in.
Yeah,
you know, and then that is one thing. You know, you want us to believe you and you don't believe in what you're saying. The second thing is that Wajakoya, he used us as the Rastafari people to gain popularity and attention of the Kenyan people using the predicaments that we are facing.
Is he really Rastafari?
He's not Rasta.
Okay.
He puts on a durag. You cannot... I'm not...
It would only be fair if he was here to respond to your allegations.
It's okay. What I'm trying to vent out and express is our disappointment as a community, as a society, because he came out clear to say that he was using that agenda, an agenda that is something that is a struggle in our society, in our people. It's, people are in jail, people get arrested, our places of worship are broken into the way people want. And when we were teaming up with him, we were hopeful that we would address this issue together. But then now you see he's come out to say that he was playing us.
By the way, let me ask you, so what you're telling us is it's going to be very hard moving forward in future for the Rastafari community to work with him.
It not only him, but any other politician.
What about, do you think ODM?
Yeah,
ODM would be a good because ODM ideally, especially Raila, he fought for social justice.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you think ODM is the perfect party to actually to help further some of the injustices that the Rastafari, when I say father, I mean fight for, for the rights of the Rastafari community? Do you think it's the right, now that you're in ODM, do you think it's the ideal party for the Rastafari community?
We are really pushing those conversations. And also previously, our elders have tried to present this issue to also different political parties.
Okay, not just ODM.
Not just ODM. We tried with the UDA. Our elder, before he died, he had several meetings with Hassan Omar, the Secretary General for the UDA party. And also, prior to even meeting Wajakoya, our elders had also had several meetings at Chungwa House.
Yeah.
Even at one instant, they were even able to meet Winnie Odinga, who's...
Oh, interesting.
And they also talked about these issues. So, as a society, we came to see that we are really not wanting to go the political side, because there's a lot of treachery and, that... using one another just to gain something for personal progression. So we are really relying on the courts. We are vesting all our trust and all our efforts for the judicial system to address it constitutionally, because it's a constitutional matter.
Thank you so much, Sankara. I have to cut you short because we're running out of time.
Thank you so much, Kev, for the opportunity.
It's been such an awesome conversation. So for folks who want to partner with you or further this conversation, how can they reach out to you?
Yes, so Sankara Nyagaya on all social platforms, on X, on Instagram, on Facebook. Sankara Nyagaya is my name. I'm an environmentalist. I do climate impact assessment for hospitals and other institutions. And I'm also a human rights defender. So let's keep in touch. Let's build our nation, Kenya, together.
Good stuff. Thanks a lot once again.
Asante sana.
Asante sana. Shannon, let the music play. It's 24 minutes after 9. We're coming back with more conversations and, of course, also music. This is After Hours on Spice. And also, that's the hashtag across the platforms. I'm Kev Matara at Kev Matara. Good evening.
SpiceFM. Nyeri.